Welcome to another inspiring episode of Talk Through Thursday. Today, we have the incredible Swarleen with us. From humble beginnings, she, as a school teacher, dared to dream big, transitioning from chalk talks in classrooms to captivating audiences in the prestigious TEDx stage. Swarleen's story is a beacon of hope and inspiring reminder with the relentless hard work and optimism in even the loftiest dreams can become reality. So get comfortable and let's go on to this roller coaster ride with none other than Swarleen Kaur. Hello Swarleen, how are you? How are you feeling today?
Hi, Barkha. I'm good and I'm excited to be with you on this platform today.
Thank you so much. And how's the weather in Dehradun?
It's real become hot now, and we're thinking to put up signboards, no more travelers. Actually, it's become very messy with the traffic these days, and then the pollution and the overpopulation is causing a lot of heat here, and but we are expecting the rains very soon.
It's good to have rainy weather, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
dulls the heat.
Today it's a little cloudy, so we're happy about it.
It works. Pleasant. So, starting
Yeah.
from the beginning, what inspired you to become a school teacher, and what were some of the most memorable moments from those early days? Adding up to that, how did those experiences shape to your journey towards public speaking? Can you tell us?
Thank you for this question. Very interesting facts, and the past behind this was I always wanted to be a teacher. Always. I mean, I had no other options in life right from the beginning, and people used to tell me, "See, there are a lot of good opportunities in hand. You must go for this." But then somehow, right from in my junior grades, I would just get my helper's daughter, and though she was just nearly my age, and I would be very happy if you could solve a maths ka problem, or and I would be like, being her teacher the moment she entered the home. And there the passion grew. It gave me a lot of happiness when I did so. And then, I started teaching the entire helpers children when I was in grade 6. So I thought I'd become very, I was in the middle school, so I'm the senior. And I would call all these nursery and, grade 1, 2 students, and chalo aaj padhayenge. And the mothers used to be very happy ki chalo at least 2, 3 hours she's teaching. So my summer break would have all this fun, and it gave me an unusual delight and pleasure. And in fact, there were times when nobody was sitting and I would act like a teacher and then keep on speaking, and I had that chalk and blackboard. It just came. I mean, sometimes you manifest it so strong that I became a teacher. I mean, doing my master's in English, I always had that cult of being a teacher. So I became one. And in the initial days in the schools, I still remember that, there were my siblings' friends. So they'd always known me as the eldest sister. And now all of a sudden they were like, oh, she's a teacher. So there was a lot of kind of change that I could see, that authority, that leadership, all of a started, sudden it started to gain that dominance on my personality, which I was liking pretty much. And what I realized the most was it was not only about teaching the students, but it was giving them the holistic study, it was giving them the holistic view of life. It was to enhance their personality. Now, this I was doing, I'd never known that I'll become personality coach a day, but I just liked it. And it just came from within. So I think I was doing all this. Initial days were splendid. Lot of learning from these students, what they expected. So I wanted to just get into it and know, were they understanding? If not, then why? And the hows and the whys were very predominant in my persona. And that gave me that niche of, being their counselor without even knowing that I was counseling them. So these people started liking the way I taught them in school. There were a lot of role plays, though there was, the time was quite demanding how it is in the schools, completing the syllabi and the curriculum. But that were amazing days. That was a lot of learning from me, for me as well. And these learnings, which I, secured in my early days, I should say, they gave me that platform and they gave me that bigger spectrum of understanding and analyzing to understand the personalities. How a talk or, an open communication could change the entire belief and could help us stop overthinking, could take us out from our self-limiting beliefs. And that's where I think from a teacher to a speaker to a coach, my entire journey got shaped. So my initial days played a huge role in the same.
In definitely what you are today, right? It served as a platter
Yes,
to the base.
absolutely. Yes, yes. It gave me a strong foundation.
Definitely. But if we see, Swarleen, I mean, hats off to what you have done till now, and three claps for being a teacher. I mean, guru is somebody who just shapes a person's life, right? And you have done that from the very childhood. But kisi bhi journey mein, it's not a very straight road, right? It's always ups and downs.
Sharp curves that you
True.
face in this journey.
Definitely. And you have mentioned while we were talking that you have faced skepticism and doubt, even from your family sometimes, right? So, how did you get motivated during those tough periods, and what strategies? Were there strategies to overcome the challenges, or you just went with the flow?
So no, that's a very typical question, Barkha. Somewhere it was, strategy that helped me grow, and somewhere it was just go with the flow. So I think it was a balance of both these things. And that skepticism, I think, came from that thought that, why such a change at this point of time when she's settled and, being an HOD in the school and, getting paid well. Now, what does she want in life? And why are you not satisfied with life? To me, it was not only satisfaction, to me, it was the inner calling. I mean, I think I knew I had it within to motivate, but then there was a student of mine from grade 12th in one of my schools, and she would just come with any problem, and I would sit with her or discuss her issues, and then she said, "Ma'am, you know what? I think you will become a motivational speaker one day." And I said, "Nahi, nahi, not possible. That I'm settled in my journey." But then that inner calling, somewhere that okay, then knock kar dena. It knocked me the day when she said these words, and these words kept on echoing in my ears and through my conscious entire evening. And I think that changed, and I owe it to her. I tell her, Simran, it is because of you. But then there's some that inner thing just awakens. And I was like, yes, I have to do something. And that's where this doubt and skepticism from everywhere started to come. Like, why now? You settled everything. But certainly it was not easy. Though they had those doubts, but still they kept on going with me. The family and friends kept on backing me. What I realized the most was, Barkha, that it's important that you have that intrinsic motivation not let down. So, how strong are you from within? I'll not say that I jumped into this. I took time. I did a lot of introspection. I had a lot of intrapersonal talks. I was becoming more and more self aware of myself, which helped me to be self regulated and further to be self controlled, which gave me that strong opinion about the things that I can do it no matter what. It's happening. And the more I became strong within, the more I manifested it strongly. I placed my visual boards everywhere I could see. And then, I started doing my journals, the gratitude practice. All of a sudden, it started to take a boom. And that's where I was always awake, thinking about how to take it forward. I joined a few courses, got back to the track, and I think when everybody saw me working that hard, I think there was some melting point where they're like, "All right, let her do what she wants to." Um, See, I always believe just keep on doing your karma, success will follow, and I think that's what helped me. There were a lot of channels wherein I could not get through. There were a lot of uh, positions like I spoke at the international speaking championship and I won the same. Now that added on to that boost that no matter what, thank you, no matter what, you can make it happen. And that's where the growth, it's from the, you can say, an incubator became an accelerator. So that's how the entire journey, based on some strategies working. Sometimes the tortoise walk, and sometimes it was a rabbit run, where I could, differentiate where to slow down a little and where to just go with the flow. And I think things started to happen. It took time, no doubt, but it just started to happen.
And I think you're a true example of, I mean, we always say कि अगर कुछ होना होता है तो universe serves us that
Oh yeah.
thing and we connect with it. But after connection, the hard work which goes into it, and you were so dedicated and you were after what you were served with, right? So this is what the outcome is. We can see you today.
Yeah, absolutely. I when I wrote my first book, when I authored my first book, I'd written there that there are three D's that helped me:
Well,
desire, dedication, and determination. They are the chapters of life called success.
yeah,
So success will just not come to you. If people tell you that, oh, just I just cannot keep on manifesting and then not work towards it.
true.
Thinking will always remain thinking. Something will not be attained until it's put into action. So
Yeah,
putting yourself into action is very important. And that's where the challenges start to happen. I
definitely.
mean, when you're thinking, you're just thinking in your mind, you may be overthinking, but the real challenges will always come when you put your work into action. And that, you know, action, that click of camera action, just go. That's very important. And I think somewhere I believed in that system and I just worked towards it to make it happen.
Definitely. Life is a stage, and we are just working between action and cut. And this is so beautiful to know that you, like you just mentioned, talking of the three Ds, desire, dedication, and determination, must have been the guiding principles, right, in your life. So, can you share specific instances where these principles helped you to overcome a significant obstacle in your life? And how did it transform you as a human, like as this human being, which we can see in today's episode?
There were a lot of instances, but honestly speaking, when I started to work towards, this paradigm shift of from being a teacher to then a speaking coach or a personality coach, there was a lot of transformation that, as I mentioned, I could see that I needed to be more emotionally intelligent, to have better understanding of my goals. And वो कहते हैं ना अर्जुन का जो निशाना बिल्कुल उसकी मछली की आंख थी. It has to be that specific. And the more I realize this, I think that the goal started to, I could visualize the goal. I could see through that I've got to reach here. That seemed to be a straight road. Of course, it was not. As I said, there were a lot of curves. Desire should be like your food, So I always mention an incident which I never forget, which I read, and I read it at the. I think as you said, yes, I strongly believe in law of attraction and the entire universe. If you're asking for something, the entire universe conspires to give it to you. But you have to have these elements of desire, dedication, and determination. So your desire should be just like the essential of air that you need to breathe. So Socrates once, he was going with his friend, and his friend was a little jealous of him. You are so famous, and you are so such a trusted man. Oh, I also want to become. And can you just give me some guidelines? I said, all right, come to the walk tomorrow, and I'll show you. And he took that man in the water, and then a little more deep, and then a little more deep. And when it reached his neck, he made him go inside the water and would not let him come out. And this man started turning blue. And then he shouted, are you crazy? You want to kill me just because I want to be famous like you? He said, like, what was the first thing that you wanted when I got hold of you and I would not let you? He said, air. And Socrates told him, if you have this desire like air, you can do anything because you'll do anything to live. So even I was telling God, I want to reach to the skies, not forgetting that I want to reach there and come back to earth because this is the right place to live, as Robert Frost says. You have to be grounded in whatever you do, no matter what. That's where your personality starts to shine. That's where you start to begin. And this dedication is a step by step journey. There'll be a lot of problems, obstacles, just not the external ones. I'm talking about the internal ones. How to make a right decision, how to react when you are in the, a situation, how to come out of it without creating a chaos, how to keep your relationships, how to maintain. So there are a lot of things that will keep on happening in your mind. But then I think that dedication, if you have, as I told you, that goal has to be pretty clear. If you have that dedication, nothing can take it away from you. So, this desire, dedication, and determination. There will be a lot of times when you will think, give it up. That, all right, that's okay. I just raise my hands. I'm done with it. I'm not taking it forward. I think that's where we make that mistake because you never know. The point where you're leaving could be your point which could change your life. So, not giving up is not easy. It's difficult. But then, if you've made a choice, because you'll absolutely have to take one step and you'll have to make one choice. You cannot be, sailing in two boats together. You'll automatically fall. You'll have to make a choice. And working towards that choice, working towards that goal, working on yourself, that will completely transform who you are. I mean, earlier, if I used to get angry or if I would think of not reacting and being stubborn, no matter what, I would just not. I would just not change my course. Gradually, I realized how foolish it was on my part to be so stubborn at times. When this change gave me that thought of being emotionally more subtle, that transformed me completely to who I am. Now, those friends who said, now you don't get angry. I said, actually, मुझे गुस्सा नहीं आता है. And if it is, of course, I'm a human being. I will be annoyed at one thing or the other at some point of time. I think now what I have learned is to manage it so that equilibrium does not get disturbed. That is the biggest transformation I saw, Barkha, when I think I was, changing my course of life or, changing my career pathways. That's how it absolutely happened. And I completely say that it's working on yourself. The more you work on yourself with these 3Ds, you'll get everything what you
want. Wow, this is so beautiful. Like, I mean, literally, the 3Ds are the magic spells, and you just have to intake them, inhale them, basically, like air. The way you have changed and transformed yourself is something which everybody thinks in their brain, but they don't put in their words or actions, I guess. But After watching you, people will be inspired and motivated, and they will definitely intake those D's in their lives to be their best versions, right? I hope so.
Thank you. Hopefully.
And still, after being recognized by World Book of London Records and nominated for Padma Shri, you're still so grounded. How did these recognition impacted you personally and professionally? And did you change how you viewed your journey or influence your future goals with these?
Um, these were absolutely, I mean, these were not dreamt of. I
Okay,
mean, I'll
congratulations.
go to, thank you so much. I'll go till TEDx was always a dream. It's made me realize one thing again that, if you know where you want to go, no matter what, there'll be a lot of slip-ons. Don't let that slippery ground take it away from you. Because when you fall down, Barkha, there have been times, when I started with my entrepreneurial journey, and I would think like, how am I going to take out the next salary? How am I going to make this finance happen? And I mean, these would just let me go to overthinking. And one day I got up from my sleep. All of a sudden, I was like, did I want this kind of life? Was it that I was dreaming of coming till here to be then overthinking? And then how can I teach somebody not to overthink if I am doing it? So I think I changed my course. And I always tell people that, even now when I mentor a lot of startups, I tell them the best thing is to pivot when required. And that's what I did with my life. And not once. I've been doing this off and on with my life. What is not working for you, or if something's becoming toxic for you, just let it be. And I said, Acha, theek hai. And I started to realize, nee, I cannot be an entrepreneur. It's not working for me. And I thought, theek hai, let me get back to the job. It's not working for me. And I went back to the job. But but I did not leave my entrepreneurial sector, and I kept on doing, focusing more, let more happen. It was simultaneously. Gradually, I saw with the flow, things were going, yeah. I was taking too much of it on me. And that's when I realized that I was managing both without even letting my peace go away from me. So when these recognitions also came, and then I'll be honest that a lot of work came in after that. A lot of international clientage came after that. It made me realize no matter what, whoever you are, these recognitions will definitely give you that soar. You'll soar high. But again, you're not leaving the roots. You have to be who you are. Enjoy that fruit that you've been trying to sow for so long. Now if it is time to you know have that fruit, it's also time to give back the seeds again so that another fruit can be made. And that's where you get another motive in life. You get, I mean, otherwise you'll become stationary, isn't it? And we know if a pond, the algae will come on it. It'll cover the layer. You have to be like a river, free flowing. You have to keep on moving. So these recognitions gave me one thing, that was just keep on going. This is not the end you were waiting for. That I'll get it one day, and then now you want to give back to society. So I started hunting for a few NGOs where I could collaborate, give back to them, and be a part of, making this world a beautiful place for those who crave for it. And for those who've not enjoyed the kind of privileges maybe we people have enjoyed. So that gave me another motive now.
Oh my God, this is like you left me with no words. But let's take that going with the flow line. I mean, this is what life is. Nothing is constant, everything is changing with each second. And we have to be present in the moment to just live the moment. And this is how the building blocks of life will make a castle, right?
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned, often people were saying that I was going nowhere to being on TEDx stage, reflecting on your journey. What are some key lessons you have learned that you would like to share with our audiences and listeners, especially the ladies who are struggling to get out of their little cocoon, right? I mean, we tend
Absolutely.
to fear to come out. So, what would you
Yeah.
advise to them?
I think all those women who think out that, जो बाहर काम कर रही है वो हमसे ज्यादा अच्छी है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. As a mother, as a homemaker, I think I should always prioritize call myself a homemaker. When I have two teenagers to go back home and listen to their problems, I think that's where the journey begins. That's where things start to happen. But one thing that I realized, and one thing that I could quite associate myself with was, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे लोगों का काम है. So, we are afraid of being judged. A lot of people do not come out of their comfort zones because उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि हम कुछ भी करेंगे, we will be judged. And this fear of being judged stops us. It is the major obstacle to take that first step, because it's always said that, to take the first step is the most difficult task. After that, the climbing becomes a little comparatively easier. But what about, taking that first step? How to, from your comfort zone to that first step, that there's a wide gap, I see. That's where the first bridge has to be constructed. I learned this lesson, I must say, pretty late in life, because I always thought that I was happy being a teacher, though there was some calling, and it took me years to understand that calling. I would certainly request and urge all your followers and listeners, don't let your time go. Because this is the only thing, this is the non renewable source you are not getting back in life again. Yesterday is never going to come. So, whenever you even think, I said, just go ahead. Don't be afraid of the pitfalls. Don't be afraid that there'll be challenges. वो तो आएंगे यार, वो तो आप comfort zone में बैठे हो तब भी आएंगे. The more you're afraid of them, the more they'll scare you. These demons will not leave you. But the point here is, be prepared. Be prepared for worst in life. Be prepared in the best of your times. Just be prepared and let it happen. Don't stop your calling. I mean, there was an urge inside me, and for years I was like, theek hai, I wanted to become a teacher. I am one. Still, there was a calling. Still, there was a calling. And for years, I mean, I'm not regretting it now, but yes, I could have started much earlier, pretty earlier, but that's fine. What I learned from my lessons was it's never too late, also. So, whenever you think you've got that calling, just get up and start moving. You'll find your way. I mean, there will be a forest where you'll think you are lost. There will be a puzzle. That maze is not going to stop you. It may take time, it may take years to be there where you want to be, but you will be there. That's one urge. Just go, just get going.
And don't be your own hindrance. Just go after the unknown,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Don't let your self-limiting beliefs stop you. Just be who you are. And you'll start to enjoy this journey. That's the best part of this journey.
Yeah, journey called life as a whole. not only specifying to
Yes.
career or personal, but
No.
as a
Yeah.
whole.
As a whole. As a whole. See, your life is all about making a balance. Your personality is all about making a balance. Striking a balance is one big thing. To be or not to be. Strike a balance.
Yeah, definitely. A balanced life is always good to lead, right? Just like a balanced diet
Absolutely.
these days, guys.
Yeah.
So this is explained so beautifully by you, and I'm sure people will be motivated to run towards what they are dreaming for. सब लोग बोलते हैं शाहरुख खान के लिए even if he is the बादशाह of Bollywood, जब वो रूम में एंटर करते हैं वो किसी को फील नहीं होने देते कि he is the big one. He makes you feel that you're the part of the room. Just in the similar way, like while you talk to people, you never like makes them feel inferior than you, and you're like literally that soul from the universe.
Barkha, you're comparing me to somebody who's like,
Yeah.
I think it's the transformation, it's the inner calling that changes that perspective of being grounded. My nanny used to tell me, and I think I've inherited this from her, and I've learned this from her, and I owe it to her. She would always tell me, "झुके हुए पेड़ को फल ज़्यादा लगता है."
Yeah.
And we've all heard this from our dadis and nannies.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
would always tell me, whatever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, doesn't matter. आप कितना झुके हुए हो, आप किसी के साथ कितना अच्छे हो, that's what's going to make that change in their lives. If you want to impact anybody, be just one of them. And that's very true.
True. Adding to that, my father always tells me, चूंकि पेड़ ही छांव भी देते हैं और उनको ही पत्थर भी लगते हैं, but still they serve us with the fruit, and you ought to be like one, no? That's so beautiful. After watching you, people will be inspired and motivated, and they will definitely intake those D's in their lives to be their best version.
Hopefully.